Hello and welcome back. Today is the final day of the Oktaves Virtual Launch. And last week we have the Oktaves Hire Week, where we united all the topics related to secrets to digital success, where each day was a note on the piano scale, and we introduced the secret for that day. I hope you enjoyed that Octave Hire Week. It was our first edition ever. And today we have a very special guest. Her name is Rebecca Smart Bakken, and she is a genius music marketer, and you should definitely check her out. She has worked with musicians from the ground up all the way to millions of views, millions of followers, and she has worked with very popular musicians such as Chase and So she is the real deal when it comes to music marketing. And today we have a little special interview style meeting. And I hope you enjoyed this meeting. All right. Let me just record this as well. So please introduce yourself.
Hi. Rebecca Smart Bakken, music marketer, ex-tech entrepreneur, now focusing on scaling musicians and DJs on predominantly the internet and finding ways to go viral and promote your music online.
And you achieved incredible success with this as a music marketer, right?
Depends how you look at it. I have so much more to go,
But how did you get started?
Well, I'm from the tech industry, tech startup. So I'm a previous tech entrepreneur, and I've started several tech companies. But my first kind of tech company that I started was in music tech. So I was building a local platform online to showcase local musicians in the community, and it's been very much from the tech perspective. But my superpower is marketing, and I've been fascinated by internet since I was 10 basically. And when I was working with tech startups, I was I'm quite good at this, but it just doesn't, I don't know, I just feel like it's not the best use of my skill set, because I feel the marketing can really make a difference. It can make change, it can make behavior, but so can music and musicians, and the type of creativity that you do with musicians, and really make a difference in the society, in the community, with people. I just feel that was such a more exciting way to use my skill set. So 6 years ago, I just quit everything in the tech startup. I was the startup director in Oslo and everything.
Oh, wow.
Build it. But I was just no, this is not, I'd rather use my superpower here, because it's just more fun. And essentially, I've come back to music, that's kind of where I started. I just took a little detour. But
Exactly. And how do you keep up with the latest trends in the music industry?
So for me, it's twofold. I need to keep up with the music tech and campaigns in the music industry. And there's I love, for example, Sandbox has really good marketing, kind of a presentation of campaigns that that's been the best for the whole year. I like getting those and really read about campaigns and how they've been executed on the marketing rollout plan, to see kind of analyze other campaigns and big campaigns and see how they do. But when it comes to marketing knowledge, I really also, I follow it's because when you practice what you preach, in my age, we're very much on the forefront of content and posting and what channels and all of that. So
yeah,
I really, learn by doing a lot of the times. But obviously I have my, experts Reddit forums and, some app research that's paying attention to what's happening on the development side of the platforms. And also newsletters from TikTok, from Instagram. They send out newsletters every week with this is what's happening new on the platform. This is this, subscribe to everything.
Yeah, this is really, really interesting. And I've been seeing your work, of course, for quite some time. And I have a question that always stays in my mind. You have tremendous amount of content. How do you structure all that content? And without burning out?
Yeah, you will burn out with content. Unfortunately, you will, because it's this never ending. It just never ends. And, and I say with the artist, not the artists that we manage their socials. There's no break there because we do the socials. But for the artists that like do the content themselves, like it's okay to take a break. Like just start again. Like it's better to take a break than burn out. So when you just feel, that, yeah. But the way that I kind of manage my time when it comes to both when I create, because I create a lot of content because I practice what I preach, but also the artists that I manage is to really nail a weekly time every week when you're going to do content. So with my artists, it's like, because they hate it. All of them hate it. And I have to be like, all right, so we're going to have 4 hours on Thursday and I'm going to send you these and you're going to film this. And I get mad, like pressure them. And I'm like, if I know I have 4 hours for them to, okay, they're going to film, I just like, here's, I need this. And essentially that's what I do with myself. I batch the content. So I get as much as possible in that short a time planning it. So I don't have to do it again in a while.
Yeah, talking about planning, I see that you have a content strategy or plan. So tell me about that.
I have like a content calendar, which I mapped out. It's 6-week content calendar. And it's like what you're going to do 2 weeks pre-release, 4 weeks after release. It's just going to help you structure your, specifically a release on a bigger level and think like, okay, we have a, 6-week plan or 2 months plan, whatever, how long you decide to have it. And to look and to plan it out on like a bigger level. And you see then like what's missing. This is happening. I'm going there at that same time as I'm promoting them. Okay, I can do something fun because you start seeing it like not just day by day. Oh, I'm here.
Yeah.
I need to do something. Like you can actually plan out. Oh shit, I'm doing that. So I'm just going to combine and structure it more. But obviously the 6 weeks content planner is filled with like every day for the 6 weeks, I'm giving you a content idea to do to promote your track. So it will give you some creative ideas as well.
Yeah, that's really. I think I had one of the content plans, and it was a really short one, and it was really, really helpful. And I did it for one of my releases, and it was just so great to know what you're gonna do for the next days.
And for me, I work with teams and I have like maybe 3 people executing on one account, and like they're posting the TikTok, they're posting there, they're doing the story, so I have to have like a clear game plan every day, what's going to happen on the channels that I manage and who's going to do what. And so essentially if you also grow and start having a management team and start having these people, they all need to be in the same kind of roll up.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's a good tool to center the whole team around as well.
Yeah. For individual musicians, what would you consider the best strategy to maintain like a strong online presence?
Right now, it's definitely content. It's content. It was ads for a long time. People were just like, yeah, we could just run ads and grow through ads. It's not like that anymore. I mean, it's never just been like that, but it was cheaper before. Like if you're just doing ads and you're not doing really content on your profile, you're like paying for a lot of traffic. That's not really optimized when they come visit your profile because you don't really have a lot of content there. So content is key. Content is king. Content is everything these days. I would really start nailing that part. If you understand how to use content to communicate and be effective at it, you're gonna you've come a long way, because that means that you can connect with people through how to communicate an idea through video and how to make it engaging. And that's just a skill set you have to learn through practicing a little bit when it comes to content creation these days. Because it's evolved in the last 5 years a lot.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's also the engaging part, because this is what people miss about social media. They think also I'm just going to post all this content, but it's a social media. You're there to be social,
exactly.
You're there to get connections, and that's the whole idea of it. And the ones that really use it for that and engage with people in the comments, use the story, have content that maybe starts conversations, that stuff like that, you're then creating kind of a community around you, and you're social and social media.
Exactly. And how do you go about that fear when you're posting content, that initial, is this gonna be okay? Do people understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. And like this is where the big musicians struggle with a lot because they feel everything needs to be perfect. Because when it comes to the music, it really does need to be, it's not, it's always, but like it needs to be really high quality.
Yeah.
When it comes to content, you don't necessarily need that. And like that barrier is really hard for musicians because they feel it needs to be perfect because like that's my creativity I need to stand behind. But when it comes to content, you don't. Like you doesn't have to be perfect at once. Like just test and see what works, Like make mistakes. And even when I bring on social media managers in my agency, I always give them either like my account that they can just fail. Like they can use this and just fail until you get an artist account. But like you need to test, like
Yeah, exactly. And there's this debate where musicians are struggling to find the right platform for them. What would be the best platform, in your opinion?
it's like it depends who your audience is. Like you really need to understand who your target audience is. This goes back to like how you would create a business plan almost. When you roll out a new business, I'm an entrepreneur, right? You don't have a customer in the beginning, but like you need to kind of create something called a customer persona. Like, you reach out to, and it's the same with musicians. You kind of have to create this target audience that you need to communicate with and need to be clear on who that person is. Whenever you do what I call for musicians these fan personas, because you should then do like, okay, this is not like demographics 25 to 45 that are like, you do one person and be like, okay, where does this person, okay, it's a girl maybe, or woman, is 25, lives in Reykjavik maybe, go like listens to this type of music, and like where do they spend time when they pick this phone up? What's the first app they open up? What's the, where do they spend time online right now? And that's different for a different target audience.
Exactly.
Obviously, like you have huge potential on like TikTok still. You have huge potential on YouTube, which as a musician, you already have your music there. So you can really optimize on shorts and, get a lot of more better, results almost than TikTok. But it really depends on like where your target audience, your super fan hangs out. And that's where you should be. And if that's Facebook, which it is for some, then you should focus a lot of your time on Facebook. If it's TikTok, well, then it's the answer, and you should, you can't be everywhere 100%. You should choose like, okay, TikTok's my main platform, and then I'm just gonna, repurpose on Instagram and all of these. Or Instagram is my main platform, and then the other I'm gonna, repurpose and post and stuff. Like, and that main platform should be where your target audience mainly hangs out.
Yeah. So the first things that we're talking about here on Oktaves Week, besides creation, analytics, and such, is that there are two types of musicians. Like there's the musician who is beginning, and the musician who has a lot of funding that wants to invest in a marketing agency. So, what would be the best advice? Would it be for them to create content themselves, or to go to a music marketing agency?
That's a good question. And like, I'm an agency that, we do the marketing of others. And there are so many clients we say no to because it's when you're at the point where you need to hire out your marketing, you're at the point where you're scaling too high, where you really can't do it yourself. And you'll then find out that you still have to do a lot of the same, like when they hire us, they still have to do the work. They still have to film. They still have to it's just, you're growing so much that you need a bigger team around you. You're getting too many announcements that's happening a day. There's too many promoters that you need, like tagging and the content that you get sent from, your gigs. But like, until you're at that point, you can do a lot of things yourself, and there's some like I just brought on a new artist now in the UK, and she did her social media before herself. And those are the most difficult ones for me to bring on, because they go from the mentality, well, I did this myself, but now I'm paying for it, and I'm kind of like still doing a lot, and that's
Yeah.
difficult. But then, like, because they're at that level where they're getting bigger, but and they're getting, they can afford it. But then you have some smaller ones that really don't need us because they don't have the content, they don't have the, people to film around them. They don't have that, so it's just like our team is needed, like. So I would say do as much as you can yourself. If you really hate it, you still have to do it. You're not gonna come around it. Like, they think, like, when they get an agency in, that like this thing is just magically gonna disappear.
Yeah.
It doesn't work like that. Like, one of my biggest artists that I manage is called Chase and Status, and they're the biggest one in like a drum and bass community in UK. and we're like we're looking at the kind of the young ones in the drum and bass community, and they get so much more engagement on social media than when we post on them, because our like, we can never get them to film, we can never get a picture of them, we can never, like, we have so limitations of that personality touch to the account than someone that's just raw posting it right there and then as a musician. And music social media kind of how it should be.
Yeah. No, one of the last questions for today is the theme for the Octave Hire Week is secrets for digital success. What do you think are the key elements or the number one secret that you would give to modern musicians?
Oh my God, the number one secret. The answer is in the number, always. It's always in the analytics will tell you what works or not. I think you know what I think it has to do? Okay. If you as a musician are able to think as creative with your marketing as you do with your music, you're going to get far, because you're so creative in your music and what you create. But when it comes to actually like creating content, like you almost like you shut this creativity off. It's like, ugh. But like, if you still have that and you find some way you can have fun with it, you're gonna crack it. It's not that hard. But like, so the difference is the ones that are successful, especially with marketing, is the ones that kind of go over that barrier of taking yourself too seriously and like don't really care if nobody saw it. There's always some, like, just throw yourself out there and not think too much about what people are gonna think. Like, if nobody sees it, it has no views. It means that no one saw it. It means that, then why do you care? No one saw it, you can just remove it and no one saw it. Like, it doesn't hurt anyone. So the number one, it's just don't take yourself too seriously in the content. Have fun with it.
That is amazing. Thank you so much for joining, and I hope to see you again in the next round of the Octave Hire Week.
Thank you so much for having me. It was fun. It's always fun to see you as well.
With that amazing interview, I hope you gained some knowledge, some inspiration, and I hope to see you on the next Octave Hire Week and in the platform or Discord. So please join us. And the link is on the website. Apparently, I cannot add links in the description or links in the video until you reach a certain threshold. But, learning something new every day. YouTube at its finest. But thanks so much for joining, and thank you again for being a part of this revolutionary movement that we're creating. We're always striving to be an octave higher. So if you are the kind of musician that wants to excel in your music career, then this is for you. And I hope you enjoy the rest of the videos that we post. Okay, bye.